of empire. But by the early 1930s, it was a ghost. The scars of hyperinflation never faded. The money might have stabilized, but the memory of worthlessness lingered, buried deep in the national psyche. Ask anyone who lived through 1923 and they would tell you, it's not the hunger you remember most. It's the fear. Fear that the number in your hand, your paycheck, your savings, could vanish before sunrise. That fear defined a generation. And fear is the most powerful political weapon ever invented. Then came 1929, the Great Depression. American loans that had propped up Germany's fragile recovery were called back. Banks collapsed. Factories shut down. Millions were unemployed once more. The same streets that had seen hunger in 1923 now saw it again, but this time, people remembered who had promised to protect them from chaos. And his name was Adolf Hitler. The resurrection of a demagogue. After his release from prison, Hitler had spent years reorganizing his movement. He traded rebellion for strategy. He learned to speak the language of despair, not as a soldier but as a savior. He told Germans what they wanted to hear. That the humiliation of Versailles would end. That the traitors of Weimar would be punished. That inflation, poverty, and hunger would never return, if only they trusted him. He didn't talk about economics. He talked about emotion, pride, revenge, destiny. And after years of inflation, those emotions were worth more than gold. By 1933, Hitler was appointed chancellor. By 1934, democracy was gone. The Weimar Republic, the first German experiment with freedom, was officially dead. But the seeds of its death had been sown years earlier, not by politics but by printing presses. How inflation shaped the Third Reich. It's easy to see the Weimar inflation as a financial tragedy. But it was far more than that, it was a moral and psychological one. The hyperinflation didn't just ruin the economy, it taught people that money was meaningless and trust was futile. It erased the idea that the state could protect the ordinary citizen. So, when Hitler began to rebuild Germany's economy, through rearmament, propaganda, and control, people were willing to obey. They didn't want freedom. They wanted stability. And that desire, that exhaustion from chaos, made dictatorship not just acceptable but desirable. Hyperinflation didn't create Hitler. But it created the conditions where Hitler could thrive. A society stripped of trust is like dry wood, it only takes one spark to ignite it. The cost of forgetting. After the Second World War, economists around the world studied Weimar Germany's collapse like a crime scene. They dissected every chart, every policy, every